All right, we are here on the set of Running Empty with David Tom. Talk a little bit about your character, Toby, and his.
Toby's not a very nice guy.
No.
He goes around and sells drugs to people.
Not nice, David Tom.
Not a very good, not a very nice guy.
Does he redeem himself by the end of the movie, or is it a through line?
No, he's kind of bad to the bone actually throughout the whole thing.
Is this the first time you've played somebody so hardcore?
Well, in one life I was stealing babies. So.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I mean that's about. I don't know. I'm not sure what the level is.
Yeah.
It's just as bad.
Yeah, it's just as bad on a different plane, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So why don't you talk a little bit about how you got involved with the project?
I'm actually good friends with Eric Nelsen, who just called me up and was like, we got this part that you'd be right for. You down to play it? And, yeah, sure, absolutely. And here I am. It's a pretty simple story.
Yeah.
Yeah, not much to it.
But I'm sure you'll bring your magic to it, though.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
And if you don't,
huh?
If you don't, there's a recast in the wings. No.
Let's hope not.
No,
Yeah.
you're familiar with that from your soap days.
Yes, I am.
Cool. Thanks so much, David.
Absolutely.
So we are here with Sainty Reed and her fiance Eric Nelsen. Why don't you talk a little bit about how you got cast in the film and the roles you play?
Well, I actually worked on a TV series called NYC 22, which Tribeca filmed. Robert De Niro was one of the executive producers, and our director, Joe Pernice, worked at Tribeca Films with Robert De Niro, and so he kind of knew me from that. And then Courtney Baxter, who's one of the other developers of the film, and I did a film a summer and a half ago called Spaz. So she knew me through that, and then she came and did a guest spot on All My Children, and she said she's developing this script called Running on Empty. Could be perfect for the lead. Would you want to come in and maybe meet with our director over at Tribeca Films and see if you're interested? Yada, yada, yada. I went in. I loved them. I loved the project. They had me go home, read the script, come back for kind of like a screen test type thing. We read through the whole script with Courtney, who's also co-starring in the film, and went home to Sainty, said I really love the script, I think it could be a lot of fun, and we both jumped on board as kind of like a producing partnership on this. They gave us the opportunity, and we thought it'd be great, and it was a perfect part for Sainty as well, so it just kind of
worked out in our favor.
Yeah.
And kind of how we ended up getting David Gregory and David Tom. I actually did the casting for the movie, which is so
cool.
Random, but I was like, I'll just take it on. I don't sleep, so I'll write emails all night long. And kind of immediately when I read the script, I was like, well, we were kind of going, I had a little thing of all the characters, and Toby happened, and I was like, David Tom, that guy we met at our manager's, he was staying over at his house, and we went and visited him. It was the first time I met him.
I've known him forever.
He's known forever. But I was like, that's him. We're doing it. He has to be it. And then David Gregory and I went to college together. So immediately when I was like hearing about the character Matthew is this like preppy, rich boy that kind of I was like, David Gregory. But he's the nicest. But he's like the perfect package for this kind of thing. So it ended up being like a big soap family thing, which is so cool. It's like from 3 different markets.
Yeah.
And 3 different times in a soap, so it's really neat.
Yeah.
It's really special to be able to like how it's so we all know each other from 3 different things, which is really cool.
Perfect.
So that's how, yeah.
Thank you so much. The next video we'll be talking about your wedding after.
Oh my God!
Let's do it.
We should do it before and after.
She's now Sainty Nelsen on professionally, so
Oh, you changed
now
it.
It's official.
It's official.
Cool.
So I'm kind of officially married.
You're
Kind of. I'm
prenup.
stag married.
Prenup. No.
Yeah, literally.
Thanks so much, guys. All right, we're here with 2 of the other leads of the movie, David and Courtney. Why don't you talk a bit about how you got involved in the project and your characters?
I'll let you go first because this
I
is
got
your baby.
Yes, this is my passion project. So right now it's October. Last January of 2013, I'd known Joe for a while, who's our writer-director, and we kind of had always talked about developing a script. So we got this idea for this character, Jenny, which is my character. He said, she's kind of like you know, she's really uptight. And I was like, oh, okay, thank you. But so, you know, so we kept going, and we had this idea that she's the perfectionist, and we said we have to have her, you know, helping someone else. So that's when we kind of started to develop the script. We had our first full draft of the script in June, and we had Eric. We'd already been meeting with Eric since about May. So we were really excited to kind of have our 2 leads underway and have Eric and myself help with, you know, our character development. And then over the summer we got our financing, which was, you know, it's a pretty big deal because if we don't have it, that would we wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
So that was our major thing. And then, you know, we went through, we got our paperwork, and we started to get our crew together. And then when we needed some casting, we reached out and I said, hey, you know, Sainty, Eric, do you guys have some people in mind? And they said, oh, you know who we have to have read is David Gregory. So that's my cue.
He's the perfect arrogant.
He seems like such a jerk, so yeah, no, we're trying to get him in.
So
Yeah.
Sainty and I went to school together. She was a freshman when I was a senior, and she gave me a call. It was literally like, I think I was leaving the gym. I was like, you know, I'm not, you know, you're always looking for work, and you're always looking for the next thing. Like, what can I be doing next to always keep yourself busy? She sent me this text. She's like, would you read for this? This is something I see you doing. And I was like, yeah, why not? I like doing stuff with people that you know, because then,
Oh, absolutely.
then, you know, everybody's got each other's back, and you make good friends along the way and all of that.
Here we are.
And it just kind of happened. And I got the sense when I met with Joe and everybody that they already kind of had a much stronger vision of what they wanted at this point than most people do with this kind of project. You know what I'm saying? So like the script had been developed for a while. And that's nothing against other things that I've done where I'm like, I'm not sure, because there's some things you have to figure out as you go. But this was definitely something that it was very clear what they were looking for, and I got very excited about that and wanted to jump right in. And we're shooting it in 16, 17 days?
17 days.
Which is
impressive.
insane.
Yeah.
But we're going to be
Impressive.
up till, it is now 7:35.
We'll be up until about
8:35.
7:35 tomorrow.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. I just had my first Red Bull of the night, and someone had told me that the apples have natural caffeine in them.
So he's eaten 2 in the past
I've eaten
hour,
2.
so that's happening.
So you're gonna be super wired.
It'd be
Absolutely.
super wide,
Which is good.
It's good for this scene.
Yes.
This is a scene where I'm sort of ruling
He
the
talks
roost.
so much in this scene that the whole cast and crew could leave for like 5 minutes and come back, and then and like just get on our marks, and he would be finishing up his monologue, and then we could just resume. So
kind of
it's
excited.
pretty exciting.
Yeah.
It's a little Friends Romans countryman, and then
Yeah.
45 minutes later, I'm just kidding.
I get to diss him in this scene too.
She does.
Seems like something you look forward to. Now, you already described your character as kind of the jackassy,
He's
douchey
very
kid.
much so that.
What's your character all about?
Okay, well, we know she's uptight. Jenny is she's the worker bee, you know. She grew up and she's from a, you know, a middle class family. She doesn't live a very hard life, but she also works for everything she gets, you know. She was the girl, if she got like a 95 on a test in high school, it was like the end of the world, you know. Very much a perfectionist, but, you know, she just works really hard for everything. 2 jobs off of high school, goes to college, does really, really well, and now she finally gets accepted into her dream med school, which we never actually say the name of the med school, so it's a mystery. But, so she gets into her dream med school, and now she needs this money to go to it. So that's kind of how the story evolves, and her plan originally is to run this race, and she's going to train, and she's going to get the money at the end of the race. She's going to win this marathon, and then she's going to go to school and live happily ever after. But that's not really how things go, and so it ends up that she gets to rope Junior back into running, which is going to be pretty exciting.
Cool. And you have a big, not necessarily a fight scene, but you kind of get what's coming to you. And
I'm gonna get what's coming to me. The cool thing about this, I think, is that Joe said that he specifically tried to write it where it didn't really fit into one specific genre, so that as we're doing certain scenes, if something wants to go a different direction, it can. Maybe it's not on the page, so that in post-production, and while it's being edited, I'm assuming, we can sort of define what this is. I think people are going to have a lot of fun seeing this.
Absolutely.
And so, as much as on paper this may be a fight scene, or like Matthew's getting what he's deserved, it has yet to be shot. So we're going to shoot it, and then we're going to find out, because there's more tomorrow that we have to do. And I think that's going to all be dictated on what's happening today. And
Absolutely. I think and with the genre, what has been really important to Joe and I the whole we got cast members in the background just going crazy. But
Josh
Josh Flitter is
Josh
being
Flitter's a
inappropriate
handsome
right now.
The puncher.
But we had it was always important to us to have kind of to keep in mind that it's a dramedy. You know, we're gonna have a little bit of drama. We're gonna have these tender moments, but at the same time, we want to keep it light. You know, and that's what Joe at the beginning of every scene. Sometimes if it goes a little bit too seriously, guys. It's a dramedy, you know, just keep it light, keep it well, and you know, there's gonna be some scenes towards the beginning where my character's just freaking out, she's going crazy, and to her it's the most serious thing, and she's crying and everything's happening, but to the audience they're like, this girl, right? Like, do you see what this girl's like? It's ridiculous.
That's funny.
And I think as actors that's been a lot of fun for us, because we have some of these things that are borderline ridiculous, but then at the same time we kind of bring them back, so it's still realistic, and it's just the characters, they don't go too awry, and what Joe and our vision has always been to make this film that has a nice storyline, but that is also just very character driven and performance driven, and I think that since we've been so fortunate in all of our casting, and to have David here, and the other David here, and Eric and everyone, that I think we're going to achieve that people are really going to be paying attention to the characters and to be able to relate to them.
Now, not to pat you on the back, obviously I'm a lot more familiar with your work, but how is it that you always get picked to play so opposite of who you are in real life? You're just one of the nicest guys there is.
I don't know
and you
where
really
you're
haven't.
getting mad at me.
Yeah, well, the $100 bill he gave me.
I don't know,
Yeah,
but
right.
I'm having a great time.
Yeah.
Especially because this is like everybody wants to, the villain is so much fun to play, and that's pretty much who this guy is.
Everyone's gonna love to hate him.
That's
what
where
our
we're
goal
going.
was.
Yeah, but each of your characters have never really embodied the true nice David that actually exists.
The interesting thing about that is I talked to Joe when we sat down the first time, and I said, so I want to try to find moments where we do kind of see that this guy actually doesn't think he's being that bad. Because what's interesting about this story is that Junior does have an actual checkered past, and that Matthew has a point. My character is like, well, look, dude, you screwed up, and it cost me a race, so now I'm trying to, it's not a revenge thing, it's like, no, I'm just trying to set what's right.
Yeah.
Darth Vader just thinks that the Death Star is the best thing, and he's just trying to squash the rebellion. It's a good idea in his mind, and I think that with every villain seeing it that way, then he's not a villain anymore. The bad guy never knows he's the bad guy. So we come from it from that perspective, then maybe he's, I can't think that he's the bad guy.
I think a lot of it is also, we have to keep in mind, and there's this history between Junior and Matthew. It's not like a college thing, it's not this race, it's since high school. Every single race Matthew was just at the corner, but Junior pulled ahead. And so Matthew kind of feels like, this guy does not deserve this. It's my time. I'm going to take my time. And then for Junior to come back, now he's just like, okay, I got to make this stop, you know? So he doesn't, I think he thinks he is a good guy. He definitely loves himself, but...
That's not the definition.
But he's also,
of a good
he's
guy.
worked hard. Like, he's like been training, he's he's a Harvard law student.
He is
This is not by
impressive.
accident. So I think the idea of like, oh, you're trying to come back and do this, you know, I'm sorry, I don't see it that way. That's kind of where it starts, and I think this party scene especially, because there's alcohol involved and the little things, you know, here and there, it gets a little out of control, and like we said, we think he gets what he deserves, but the idea is that he doesn't think he's actually being that bad. I want to stress that.
Yeah,
Good
absolutely.
good way to end that. Thank you so much for your time, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, and then that one's like, oh, you're out.
We have a week left. We're doing great tomorrow. We're going to do a long run.
Is that me, so I can?
Yep.
Junior! Do I see a Junior? Come over here, man, and greet your host.
Come on, it's good to see you. Mention me. Who's this pretty lady standing in my humble boat?
Jenny, is this your house?
Well, yeah, I mean, I bought an apartment up in Boston after I was accepted into Harvard Law, but this is my week in the States.
Harvard Law. So is that where you learn to talk to girls?
Oh, this girl has some sass, Junior.
Are you going to run in the race, or are you just, here relaxing every weekend?
I'll be running.
It's a big deal for everyone, running alongside a former winner.
I guess I should feel threatened. So, Junior, you ready for the big day? I mean, look, I know you've been training, but this is a taste of mental endurance more than physical. Hope you're ready for it. Yes, sir. Okay, guys, this is a take. We're rolling.
You love them?
Sound B speeds.
Sound A speed. Camera speeds, mark it. 14164, mark. And background. And action.
No, I don't think so. You okay? Charlie, would you get us some waters? Listen, we have a week left. We're doing great. Tomorrow we'll do a long run.
Junior! Do I see a junior? Come over here, man, and greet your host. Come here. Come on. It's good to see you, buddy. Whoa, watch the drink. And who's this pretty lady standing in my humble abode?
Jenny, is this your house?
Well, it's my weekend stay, really. I bought an apartment up in Boston. That's right. Checked into Harvard Law.
Harvard?
Yeah.
Wow. Is that where you learned how to talk to girls?
Oh, this girl has some sass, Junior.
So are you running in the big race next week, or are you just here relaxing?
Oh, I'll be running.
You know, it's a big deal for everyone. On set of winner.
Yeah, I guess I should feel threatened. Oh. So, Junior, you ready for the big day? Yeah. Well, I just want you to know that it's mental, physical. Hey, everybody! Everybody listen up real quick. All ears, right? I just want to thank you all for coming out to this little kickoff party for the big race, huh? Yeah. Okay, not everybody else at once, okay? Now remember, there's a lot of competition here, but only one prize. And remember that we're not just competing against each other, but also against those jerks from South Jersey and those hicks from Pennsylvania. Am I right?
Yeah.
All right, so listen. Seriously. Let's hope that one of us brings home the gold, okay? No, speaking of which, I got a special guest I want to introduce you all to tonight. A very special guest who is going to be probably joining us next week. Let's give a warm round of applause to Junior. Junior, come on up here. Junior, come on. Come on. It's okay. You guys remember Junior? Let's have a warm round of applause for Junior, right? All right. Junior. Let's see. Broke every high school record in the book. Right? All American. Let's see. You also, what was it? Full ride to Princeton University, right? Wow. Then what happened? Then I guess we don't get some time. But sometimes we gain inspiration by running for those who we've lost, right? So who are you running for, Junior?
This little jerk's pushing pills.
What? Are you selling pills in my house? Yeah, who invited you? Junior. Get up! Hey, what's this? Huh? Are you buying drugs in my house? Did you invite this guy? Do you know him? Those aren't mine. I'm afraid I can't let this slide, my friend. No, we need to report this, right? That's what you would do. You report this. I can't let you just get away with it.
Listen, I didn't do anything.
Whoa! You just pushed me. Did you see that? He pushed me.
Chill
this
out,
drug, he
chill out.
pushed me. You. Oh,
Dude, stop!
Oh.
Whoa! Charlie, come on, let's go! Junior, let's go!
All right, girls, here's to a night we won't remember.
Her boobs look fake.
They're so
Totally
fake.
fake.
So disgusting.
Can you
What
believe
size
that?
do you think that is? Oh my god.
I think a fake D.
A fake D, yeah. She needs to cover up.
Okay, here's so Matthew.
Definitely.
Oh
my god. His eyes are gorgeous. Did you just say
That's great. Can we swing around here?
He doesn't have a girlfriend.